Hi, this is Kathy Miller of Simply Stated Business, and today I'm going to share some tips for creating a better professional bio. Especially in today's social media world, we are often asked to provide a bio of our background, and this will just give you some tips on how to get started on that. So, many people just dread creating a professional bio. They just hate doing it and kind of stress out about it. They're just don't know what to write, or maybe they're afraid that it'll just sound boring, like so many of them do. So, what do? You simplify the process. We tend to overthink some of these things, so let me give you some simple tips on creating a better professional bio. Some examples of bios are, if you start it here at the arrow, you'll see I've got an example of your LinkedIn profile. It's the longer bio. It's almost like a resume. There's also executive bios that are usually print items or ones done online. Or you could have a mid-sized bio where, for example, you're a conference speaker and they want to know something about your background. And then you have your little mini bios, which would be your Twitter profile. So I always start with the longer one because you can much more easily cut it back than expand it. So start with the long one and we'll work from there. So basically, there's three things people want to know in your bio. They want to know who you are, obviously. They want to know what makes you a pro on the topic that you're either writing about or talking about. And then what is it that makes you special? What's different about you from any other speaker they've heard or subject matter expert? So, starting with who you are, what I like to do is I just take a pad of paper, or you can do it online, however, whatever floats your boat, and just make a list of different items. First being your background, list what positions you've held, list if you've had any management or executive positions, what companies you have worked for. Now, you're not necessarily going to use it all, but just list it down. We all know that there's some companies that have great brand recognition, so you might use them over one that is a lesser known brand. Then the second element that you're going to create your list on is your credibility. This is just, it proves to the person that what you have makes you a pro. It's your experience, your years in the industry, your education, perhaps. Maybe you're president of some industry associations. And then your accomplishments. Have you received any awards or recognition for the work you've done? And then the last item that you're going to create lists is what's unique about you. What have people told you that you do better than anybody else? Maybe you're creative, innovative, you're decisive, and think about your success stories, your case studies, or your testimonials you've gotten from clients. And then last, just list some of your personal interests. People want to know a little bit about the person inside, so just list a few personal interests. Now all you do is add 1 plus 2 plus 3 and you create your story and think of it in terms of a story. I know it's always harder to write about yourself, for some people anyway, but think of that you're writing about somebody else and what you'd want to know. And like any good story, you're going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you always want to open with some kind of grabber, a message that you want to make sure people remember. And then the middle of your bio, you're going to build on your story. You're going to build your credibility by adding your experience, your accomplishments. And then you're going to wrap it up with some of your unique traits and sharing some of your personal information. So here's just an example of a grabber. Uh, Mary Smith here is a youth development specialist, but you want to just grab somebody from the start And in this example, we have passion is life altering. It drives great leaders to make a difference in the lives of others. Mary Smith is such a leader. A youth development specialist, Mary has over 20 years experience in helping young people realize their full potential. So in those two paragraphs, you've gotten what Mary's passion is. You've shown her experience with the over 20 years and what her goal is. So think about your passion and in the first opening lines, convey that passion and share a little bit of your credibility with your experience. So then you just build on your story. How did your story begin? Now, you don't have to go back to the first job you had at McDonald's. Think about what it is you're doing now and whatever starting point, makes the most sense. Perhaps there was a real career turning point in your life. So, maybe start your story there and then talk about how your career progressed and what experiences brought you to where you are today. And this is where you really want to make your passion just shine. And then you want to show what makes you you. Your creativity and solutions, your ability to simplify. Maybe you're an entrepreneurial spirit. And the best way to share those, rather than just saying, I'm creative, is weave in examples into your story. That's where you think back to your case studies or testimonials from clients and share those stories so that you are demonstrating to your audience your creativity. And then add the dash of personal, like maybe you're a black belt in Taekwondo, or you enjoy hiking, or, avid mystery reader, whatever it might be. So you just tell your story, and that's what your bio should be. It tells who you are, what makes you a pro, and what makes you special. It's really that simple. And I'm Kathy Miller of Simply Stated Business, and I thank you for listening.